Ixion. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Authorized by Dolus AEC, you will guide the Tycoon space station onwards in a perilous journey to find a new home for humanity. Station infrastructure, population management, exploration, survival, these responsibilities fall to you. Will you find hope out there in the dark? Good luck, Administrator. Yes, guys, this is a city builder that's just come out. I'm a few days late to the party with this one because I was doing other things, other reviews. But I'm here now, and I've been playing this for about 15 hours, I think. I streamed it last night for a good few hours, but I was more interested in chatting to people in the stream than actually playing the game. But this is actually the continuation of that game that I played in the stream. So if you were in the stream last night, you'll probably recognize a bit of the layout. Now, I screwed up big time. I should have stayed a lot longer in Sector 1 and put together a bit of a better build. And I am going to start the whole thing again when I take a bit of time off over Christmas. I'm kind of looking forward to that. This is also on Green Man Gaming. Links in the description. You can get it a bit cheaper than it is on Steam. So it's well worth a pickup. It's going to be thumbed up. It's worth a buy. But there is some problems that I'm going to go into. So first of all, let's talk about what it is. You're on this space station and you have to, you're kind of looking for a new place for humanity. The station's broken up into sectors. You only have access to one sector to start with, but you can open up other sectors to expand your base essentially, but you will need a lot of resources and a lot of workmen to actually do that. Now you get resources and new people to actually help you out by exploring space, exploring the solar system that you're in, sending out probes, looking for, it's like a little mini game. When you send a probe out, you'll get these little bars going up and down, and when they're green, that's kind of telling you what's probably in that area and how much of it. And so you can kind of look at what you want. Let's say you want carbon. You just kind of move around a bit till you get a signature trace of carbon, and you send out a probe. The probe will locate the carbon. You then send out a mining rig. You have to build them, of course, first. And you have to build the dock as well to get that. But the mining rig will go out, he'll mine that, and then you'll send your cargo ships out to ferry the cargo back to the actual space station. And it can take a while if you're uncovering hundreds and hundreds of ores. It does take a while to get it all back. It then needs processing in your actual space station. And that's when all the machinery comes in, the automation comes in. And this is where you have to be careful with the layout of your buildings. You've got all the usual stuff. You've got to have places for your crew to sleep. So you need living quarters. You need stuff to eat. You will eat the bugs. You make bug farms. It's all cricket soup here, guys. Coming to a town near you. But yeah, you're eating the bugs. You can unlock other ways. Probably, I think it's tier 5 stuff. You can make little cornfields and stuff like that. But at the beginning of the game, you'll just be eating the bugs. Max, stop saying that. But you are eating the bugs. You need all your processing plants down for your different ores that you're going to make. There's quite a few of them. There's electronics. There's alloys, which is made from iron. Iron's quite plentiful early on. So you get as much of that in as you can. And basically everything that you're going to need, you'll be able to get over each solar system that you come into each time you jump. And that's what the game's about. There is a story, which is, it's all right, I guess. And it pieces together as you explore, as you do these big jumps out of the different solar systems. I'm not going to spoil what happens when you jump, but yeah, there's consequences. What the main consequences you've got to look out for as the administrator is hull repair. And a lot of nonsense, basically. Your hull's deteriorating and you have to constantly use alloys to patch it up. But the reasons it deteriorates are stupid. If you have a problem, like a work-related accident, it'll deteriorate the hull for a little bit. Why? We don't know why. Then you'll have people who, after a while, we don't like the fact that you've stayed in the first solar system such a long time, even though it's doing everybody good because you're getting valuable resources. So they'll say, we don't like that. There's another -1 to your hull. So, sorry, what? What? How? And that happens a lot in this game. Nonsensical stupidity just happens. And then the worst of the lot, in my opinion, is When you start harvesting cryopod, you'll find them. This is how you get more crew members. You'll find these cryopods out in space. You bring them back, defrost them, and the people that come out are either workers or non-workers. That's fair enough. Get the workers to work, train up the non-workers. Now you can't. Okay, so what do the non-workers do? Nothing. Except eat your food and take up building space. And mourn all the lot. Mini fucking mourners. Okay, fire them out the airlock then. Oh, you can't do that. Well, what do you do with them? Nothing. They're ballast. Absolute ballast. Eventually you can turn them into colonists, but you need to be able to turn them into workers. And this is a big problem that I've found. It's a stupid problem because you should be able to do it. I mean, why can't they learn stuff? I mean, anybody can learn things. You know, especially in a situation like this. So the game lacks immersion for me. And that's a shame because this is kind of like Frostpunk in space. And I love Frostpunk. And this could be as good as Frostpunk, but it's just not. There's too much wrong with it. That's one of the main things that I've just said. It also needs a difficulty slider because it's such a good, fun game to play that's just ruined by all the plates you've got to keep spinning. But it's not keeping them spinning in a fun way. You know, the fact that people get so moany and grumpy over nothing just because they don't like what's happened, well, deal with the fucking thing, you know? Put your effort into making things better, which is what pretty much 90% of people would do in this situation. I mean, who would go on strike when going on strike will actually mean you're all gonna die? Right, we're not gonna heal the hull anymore, we're on fucking strike. We're not gonna make any food for us anymore, we're all gonna starve. I mean, I would much rather see the threats come from external, and I'd like that the crew would be very, very kind of together. You know, alright, you might get the odd nutter, but it just lacks that immersion. It needs a difficulty slider, definitely, so you can control the kind of bullshittery that goes on here. But enough of the negative. It's a fun game to play. It's a very relaxing game to play. It's really good feeling when you're bringing stuff back and refining it and expanding and unlocking new sectors of your space station and changing them from, say, I don't know, a big manufacturing area to somewhere that processes the food, which is what I was kind of doing. You can also, I have mentioned that there's a lot of negative things that affect the hull, but there's also buildings you can build to negate that. So you can build stuff that give you +1 to happiness, the hull and things, stability rather than just constantly being on a negative. So there is ways around it, but I just feel that it does need a difficulty slider and it needs some of the problems sorted out, as in why things happen. It's just, they wouldn't happen for the reasons given in the game. It's lacking that bit of immersion. But it's a good game. It's definitely worth a buy. And like I said, you can grab it on Green Band Gaming. So there you go, guys. Ixion, or whatever you call it. Ixion, the Ixion. It's worth a buy, guys.